guys, today I'm filming a first impression and follow-up on the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 24-hour foundation. This is not a new product. It has been out for years. It's been raved about a lot on YouTube, but I finally picked this up to test it out for myself. This foundation retails for $47 and you can buy this from Sephora, Ulta, Macy's, Nordstrom Belk, anywhere that Lancome is sold. This foundation does come in 40 shades, which is a great shade range. My shade is 140 Ivory Neutral, and this shade is described as being for fair to light skin with neutral undertones. So I went into a Lancome counter to swatch all of their lightest shades to see which would fit me best. And I think this is maybe the fourth lightest shade in the range. So they did go very, very light, but it was super pink, super peachy. I wasn't able to find anything that had a warm yellow undertone. Out of all of the lightest shades, this is the one that had the most warm undertone, but as it says, this is still a neutral. So I'm hoping this will be yellow enough without looking too dark on my skin. So we'll see if I can find a good shade match in this foundation. So now I'm going to read you the claims from the Sephora website. It says this is an oil-free, long-wearing liquid foundation that delivers medium to full coverage and leaves a natural-looking velvety matte finish that lasts up to 24 hours. So those claims sound perfect for me. Medium buildable to full, natural velvety matte finish, and lasting up to 24 hours. So I will certainly be putting that to the test. So for the packaging, it is a frosted glass bottle. On the back here is where you have your shade name, not so easy to read. Then you have this plastic cap, which actually has a decent amount of weight to it, and it does have a pump, which is amazing. All high-end foundations for that price should definitely come with a pump. So for the application today, I'm going to be applying the foundation on this side with my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, and on this side with my Beauty Junkies Flat Top Kabuki brush, just seeing how these different methods of application will affect the coverage. So I am gonna pump out a little bit of product, and here's what the shade looks like. Just looking at it on my finger, it looks like it might be a little dark and a little peachy, but we'll see. And the texture looks great. As you can see, it is dripping a little bit, but not a lot. So this doesn't look like it's going to be too thin or too thick. And I'm just going to go ahead and start dotting this on my face. I don't have on any primer. All I've done this morning is do my normal skincare routine, cleanser, toner, and moisturizer. So now I'm just going to dot this all over my skin. So now that I have it dotted all over this side of my face, I'm going to start blending it out with my damp sponge. And it's blending really easily with the sponge, which is great. But I'm not getting a lot of coverage with this. So here's what my skin looks like with one layer of foundation with a sponge versus no foundation. Even at my skin a tiny bit, but like this is light coverage right now. So now I'm going to apply one layer on this side of my face and blend it out with my brush. So now that I have that dotted all over, I'm going to blend it out with my brush. Hope this one is going to give me more coverage. This shade is looking really peachy on my skin tone. So here is one layer of foundation with a sponge. Here's one layer of foundation with a brush. The brush gave a tiny bit more coverage, but not really. This is light, so dear God, this foundation better be buildable. Let's try for a second layer. Okay, so does this look like it's oxidizing? I just applied this, and a second before that I applied this. This looks a little bit lighter and more yellowy, and this looks a bit darker and more orange. Is this oxidizing like immediately? So here is 2 layers of foundation with a sponge versus 1 layer of foundation with a brush. So here's 2 layers with a sponge versus 2 layers with the brush. The brush did give more coverage. I feel like it covered up more of my redness and more of my freckles. So I definitely think with 2 layers, this is a medium coverage foundation, which is really disappointing. The claims say medium buildable to full. This is light buildable to medium, which is so disappointing to me. Also, can we look at the color? This is so dark and so orange, so orange. And look at the bottle, look at the bottle, look at my face. The bottle is several shades lighter than my face. I know that this is a frosted bottle, which really does kind of distort the color of the foundation, but I don't know if you guys could tell as I was dotting it on my skin. I applied it, it was looking light, neutral-ish. Then a couple seconds later, it was darker and more orange. Like immediately it oxidized as soon as it touched my skin. So many people rave about this foundation, guys, and like, I'm not impressed at all right now with the coverage or this terrible color. So now I'm going to apply my under eye concealer, and I'm going to set my face with the RCMA No Color powder. That is not going to give me any color coverage or mattify me. It will just set my skin so it isn't sticky. And then I'm going to apply the rest of my face makeup. I will go throughout my day, check in with you guys in a couple hours to see how this is holding up. I'm not happy so far, but we'll see as the day goes on, and hopefully tomorrow in my follow-up I'll like it a lot more. Hey guys, I'm back for my first check-in. I forgot to tell you that I applied my foundation at 10:30 a.m. Right now it is 2:30 p.m. so I've been wearing my foundation for 4 hours. So it is looking pretty good so far. I am a bit shiny in my forehead, and I am very oily on the sides of my nose. I can feel it right here on this inner part of my cheeks. Feels pretty gross. I am oilier quicker than I thought I would be. Actually, at the 3-hour mark, I had started to get quite a bit of oil around my nose, so that is pretty disappointing. So I will be checking in with you guys in another 4 hours. Hey guys, I'm back for my second check-in. It is 6:30 p.m. and I've had my foundation on for 8 hours, and I am feeling greasy. It definitely looks greasy on my forehead and on my chin. The foundation started to wear away quite a bit on my chin, and the sides of my nose are disgustingly oily, so oily I can feel it on my skin, which is so gross. So I'm going to go ahead and blot with one piece of toilet paper. So there is a tiny bit of transfer onto the tissue, but not much at all. So now that I've blotted, my skin does feel a lot better. I don't feel like this has oxidized anymore since I've been wearing it throughout the day. Hey guys, today I'm filming the follow-up of the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 24-hour foundation. So today I'm going to be inserting this foundation into my everyday routine so I can get a more accurate picture of how this is actually going to work for me. So starting with primers, I will be using the Lorac Perfection Mattifying Face Primer all over my face. And then in my pores and the wrinkles on my forehead, I will be using the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. So starting with the Lorac primer, I'm just going to smooth this all over my skin. So for the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer, I'm just picking up a little bit of this product. I'm going to be pressing it into my pores and then smoothing it over towards the outside of my face. So now that I have all of my primers done, I will be going in to apply my foundation. So yesterday I tried this foundation with the sponge and the brush. I prefer the brush because it gave more coverage. So again, today I will be applying my foundation with the Beauty Junkies flat top kabuki brush. So now that I have this all dotted in, I'm gonna start blending it in with my brush. So here's what it looks like with one layer all over my face applied with a brush. So now I'm going to go in and apply a second layer. So here's what my skin looks like with 2 layers applied all over with a brush. I still feel like this is truly medium coverage at best. I can still see a lot of redness, and all of my freckles are showing through really bright. Obviously this foundation is too dark for me and too orange for me. I do think that this oxidizes the second it hits my skin, which is really upsetting. So quickly I'm going to go ahead off camera and apply my under eye concealer and setting powder. So now that I've applied my under eye concealer and setting powder, obviously you can tell that it is a little bit lighter than this foundation. So now I'm going to go in with my overall face setting powder. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder in the shade 100 Translucent. Not translucent, very fair with a yellow undertone. I'm going to be applying it with the Real Techniques powder brush, and because I'm not using a really dense brush, this is going to give a little bit of coverage, a little bit of color, but mostly just be setting my entire face and helping to keep me a bit more matte. So just pressing this into my skin. So I think because of my under eye concealer setting powder and my all over face powder, it did help to lighten the shade a little bit. Still too dark for me, but it did lighten it some. So right now it is 10 a.m. I will be checking in with you guys about halfway throughout the day, and I will be blotting as often as I see fit with a piece of tissue, and then I will be touching up with a little bit of a Rimmel Stay Matte powder. So I will check back with you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, so I am back to give you my final thoughts. It is 2 p.m. so I've had this foundation on for 4 hours. I would like to wear it a little bit longer, but I am about to leave to go home for Mother's Day, but I do definitely have my final thoughts on this product. Something I forgot to talk about yesterday was how this foundation looked in my pores. So of course yesterday is when I wore this product with no primer. I did not have any settling in my forehead wrinkles or on this inner part of my cheek, but the foundation did settle into the pores at the sides of my nose and really emphasize them. I have very deep pores on the sides of my nose, so I can't fault the foundation too much. But today, when I am using my pore filling primer, it smoothed over it completely. You cannot see my pores at all. So if you use any kind of pore filling primer, that problem should go away, no problem. Also, these are really deep pores. My more tiny, shallow pores, I didn't have any trouble at all. Also with my forehead wrinkles, I usually get a lot of creasing and settling, and even with the pore filling primer, I do still get that because I usually have to do this little wrinkle reducing method. I didn't do that today. I just used the primer and the foundation, and my forehead looks fantastic. So I definitely want to credit that to this foundation. So that's great news. If you do have some shallow pores or you do have a lot of wrinkles, I don't think you need to be worried about this foundation emphasizing that. So for this shade, there are 40 shades in this range, which I think is fantastic, but there is not a shade that actually matches me. All of the lighter shades are way too pink or peach. This one looked the most yellow, but as you guys saw, as soon as I put it on my skin, it immediately oxidized. It was very dark and very orange, which is something that I cannot get down with. That is so disappointing for me. Also, the coverage. I don't think this is medium buildable to full. This is light buildable to medium. I am a full coverage girl, so I just am not satisfied with that. It definitely does not meet those claims. So for oil control, I think it actually does a pretty decent job. So now it's been 4 hours and I am oily on the sides of my nose. I can see the oil kind of collecting in the crease of my nose, which is not uncommon, but the rest of my face looks pretty matte, which I am very happy about. I actually thought about testing this foundation for one more day and mixing it with a foundation lightener to see how that would work, and I decided I'm not even going to do that. This foundation is just okay to me. Because it costs so much, I don't want to keep a foundation that's just okay. At the same time as I purchased this, I also repurchased my Estee Lauder Double Wear, which is my holy grail #1 foundation. So I feel no need to keep this one when I already have my holy grail Estee Lauder. So I will be returning this back to the store. It isn't terrible, but because I already have quite a few foundations right now, I don't see a reason to hold on to this and try to truck through it when I don't love it. So guys, I would love to know your thoughts if you have tried out this Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 24-hour foundation. I hope you all enjoyed this first impression and follow-up. My next first impression and follow-up is going to be on the MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. I do have high hopes for that one. Hopefully it will live up to that. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.